What it do, y'all? It's your girl Makeup and Travel, and for today's video I kind of wanted to talk about some of the pastel eyeshadow palettes or eyeshadows that I have in my collection. So if you guys are interested in seeing what my pastel eyeshadow collection looks like, then just keep watching. Alrighty guys, so I kind of went through all my eyeshadows, which is a lot, and I picked out eyeshadow either singles and or palettes that are pastel themed, have a lot of pastels in them, and I just thought this would be a different way to show my eyeshadow collection. I'm willing to do a full video. I just don't have the setup or the tools, etc yet, so we just finna do small little groups, and then maybe one day we'll get to a full eyeshadow palette. So first let me just show you guys two or three palettes that I actually have that were pre-made that I believe are pastel and themed. The first one is Juvia's Place, their Deuce palette. As you can see by the colors, this definitely has a lot of pastels in them. These two are definitely pastels. This orange, I would say, or this green is even a pastel. So overall I definitely think this is Juvia's Place pastel eyeshadow palette, and I love it. But I love all of their eyeshadow palettes. I believe I did not a full face. I believe I did a using every eyeshadow in the palette. So if so, I will link that up below. If not, stay tuned because it'll be coming. Next is of course the Pastel Goth. Now I did not get this the first time around when it was actually in Sephora. I decided for some reason to skip it. Well, I bought it from a Poshmark, I believe. It was not that expensive. Moreover, what it was released for, I really could not tell you how much I paid for it, to be quite honest. But these are the shadows. Now, I know that a lot of people are saying that this is not really a pastel goth, but from what I have heard, and feel free to correct me, there are different forms or genres of goth, and one is wearing pastel colors, and even I've heard that there's another version where they literally just wear a lot of color even though they're goth. So there's a lot more within that community than just wearing black. And so this was Kat Von D's take on the pastel goth community. I love these shadows. They're pigmented, beautiful, good to go. I'm not doing any swatches right now, but what I will do is at the end I'll do more comparative swatches and do the full swatches. I just didn't want to do them in this part of the video. The next one is from an indie brand, and this is my last palette. It's from Beauty Wide, and this is their Seasons eyeshadow palette. I actually have their eyeshadow palette right now on my eyes. I did not use any of the pastel colors, but if you're interested in this eye look, hopefully by now I put up the video and I will link that up in the cards as well. I love this eyeshadow palette for a lot of reasons, but the best part about it is that it's pastel, but that's not all it is. They made sure to add darker colors where you could actually create a full look. I wouldn't say that you couldn't necessarily create a full look with the other two palettes that I've talked about, but you can definitely create a full look with this one. So yeah, you can see like clearly this is a pastel color. I would say that's a pastel purple. You know, there's pastels popping around everywhere in this eyeshadow palette, and I really do like this palette. Yeah, and I will try and link things below. We know how that goes, so yeah. And then the other two I guess sets of eyeshadows that I have to talk about are from singles that I've bought from different brands. So the first brand that I want to talk about is Carity Cosmetics. So this is one of my 10,000 Z palettes. I'm just going to come to the side. This is one of my 10,000 Z palettes, and these are my Carity Cosmetic eyeshadows. Now, with this green. Yeah, so these 5 are my Carity Cosmetics. These are clearly pastels in my opinion. I don't think they're bright, and you can definitely see that when you put them on the eye. They're definitely not a very thick formula, so they don't go on your eye opaque. I consider them to more so go on my eye as more pastel because they're softer, more muted. Those are really good in my opinion for crease colors. They are really good at starting off your crease with, like, let's say you want to do an all green look. You can start off with that more pastel green so it slowly builds up in pigmentation, color, density, etc, etc. But I would not personally consider those to be thick enough to be like your actual main crease color. No, I think those are like transition colors, to be quite honest. And then the last group of shadows that I have are from Clionadh Cosmetics. Now, Clionadh, they got expensive shipping and they're from Canada. They're also another indie brand, but I love their shadows, I must admit. So these are the shadows that I purchased singly from them. I also have a palette from them, but a lot of these mattes are basically pastels. They really speak to me in a pastel way. I only bought one shimmer and that one was from their Valentine's Day collection, but either way, I think all of these colors are also pastel, and I would say that these are definitely a thicker formula than the Charity ones, but just like I say in all my videos, you can easily over blend the purples and the greens and the blues, but that's how those shades are in general. But like I said, I love these shadows. I would highly recommend them and all the other palettes that I've talked about. The only reason I would honestly recommend the Charity is if you need a thin light transition color for a pastel look or for any colored looks. I personally am not a huge fan of Charity Cosmetics eyeshadow formula, but yeah. So those are all of the shadows that I have in my collection that I consider pastel. Definitely stay tuned for all of the swatching because it will be a hoot. And yeah, definitely comment below if you have a particular eyeshadow palette that you have tried and you love it. If you don't like it, if you don't think it's pastel, if you think it's pastel, let me know. I would love to try out more pastel colors. And yeah, let's get into the swatching. So for the swatching, I am going to go ahead and swatch each palette and or group by themselves separately, and then I will do more of a comparison swatches. So first, let's go with what do I want to do? Let's go with the Pastel Goth, and I am just gonna do swatches like this. And here are the shadows. I'm not gonna build up any of these shadows, so you know, you get what you get. So those are the first 4 swatches from the Pastel Goth. And then I'm just gonna go ahead and do the last 4 really quickly. Here are the shadows. So these are all the shadows from the Pastel Goth palette. Hey guys, so this is editing me. When I was editing this video, I realized that 2 clips got cut out somehow. So I just want to kind of bring you guys those clips. So I'm going to be swatching the Deuce by Juvia's Place palette, and I am just going to go row by row by row. These are the first 4 shadows. And as you can see, this is a single swatch of those shadows. Now let's go to the next 4 shadows. Oops. Sorry, I kind of dug into that pink shimmer on accident. All right, so that is the next 4 shadows. And I'm just gonna swatch the very last shadow. I'm still sick, y'all. I'm sorry. Ugh. And this is the very last shadow, which is just a brown. Very pigmented brown. So these are all of the Juvia's Place Deuce swatches. So lastly, I have the Carity Cosmetics shadows. Oh my gosh. Okay. So there's only 5 of these, so we will get through this very quickly. Here are the 4 swatched on my finger. Just don't mind the shimmer. The shimmer is from the Juvia's. Here is the color swatched. And there it is. So these are the 5 Carity swatches. So now we're just gonna pop right on back to the original video, and yeah. So my camera shut off, but I just want to finish out with these last 2 palettes to swatch. So now I'm going to be swatching the Clionadh Cosmetics eyeshadow palettes, or eyeshadows, single eyeshadows. So this is the first 4 of the Clionadh Cosmetics eyeshadows. Here is the next 4. Here is the next 4 for the Clionadh Cosmetics eyeshadows. And here's the last 4. So here are the last 4. I'm gonna go by the side so you guys can actually see them. And there you go. Those are my pastel shadows from Clionadh Cosmetics. And last but certainly not least, let's get into the Beauty Wide Seasons palette. Here are the first 4 shadows. And here they are swatched. Here are the next 4 shadows. And here they are swatched. Here are the next 4 shadows. And here those are swatched. Here are the next 4 eyeshadows. And here they are swatched. So these are the first group of shadows. And then I'm just gonna go on my other arm to finish out this eyeshadow palette. Here are the next 4 eyeshadows. And here they are swatched. Now I'm in the last row here, and the next 4 eyeshadows. Here they are swatched. And one more eyeshadow left. Here you go. So let me go sideways so you guys can see. And just for a total, here are all the shadows from the Beauty Wide Seasons palette. So next I'm going to be uploading some comparison swatches of different shadows that I have throughout all of these that I have just shown you guys. If you're interested in that, just keep watching, and yeah, let's keep it going. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the swatching. It has been fun doing this video. Definitely let me know if you are interested in seeing some more smaller grouped versions of my eyeshadow palettes. I definitely could do that for you guys. And yeah, it's been real, y'all. Peace.